Good morning, everybody. Here we go. It's going to be a pretty long video, but we're all going to get through it together. So, this is the custom float that you use to pour shower pans. This is the mortar tucket that I use to mix the material in. So let's go to the workspace. So there we go. So I have some of the material in there already that's already been mixed. And it is going into the shower pan. As you see, it's fairly dry material, but you can compact it. A big mistake that most people make when they're putting together their shower pans is they never put in this little cover piece right here, because it is not sold at a lot of the bulk stores. This is a positive weep protection. Most important thing you could ever do is put this in. Make sure that this is installed. This goes on, as you see, between the drain and the drain flange. Let me go over here and show you. There's the drain flange right there. Bam. This piece goes here. Then the drain riser goes in and gets adjusted to whatever level it's going to be for your pan material. The pan material should be at a minimum, smallest amount, 1 inch and 5/8, maybe 1 7/8 inches up against this wall. I like to go about 2 inches. And then we pitch it down to the drain. Give you an idea of what it looks like when it's done. It's right here. Now we're not using a 1/2 inch notch trowel or anything crazy to install the tile. All we use, and this has not been scraped yet, this is just installed a little while back. So this still has to be scraped, get some of the highs and lows out of here. Boom. Beautiful. That's what we're looking for. Beautiful. That's what that'll be. Now when I scrape this down, I'm going to scrape about 3/32 of material off of here, a little bit more, and I'm going to be using an 8x8 squared off notch trowel to put the floor in here and in the other bathrooms as well. So it's not going to be that bad. Not going to be a lot of mud, as you would believe, underneath the tile. You don't have to put a 1/2x1/2 notch underneath shower floor tile. This will be this floor tile that's going in that bathroom. And then we have the penny tile, bam, that's going into that bathroom. So let's get started. I'm going to show you first how to mix this material. It's only me, so you're going to have to bear with me. You're going to have to bear with me, folks. My hair is a little jacked up, but it's okay. So use this hoe right here. And you slowly work the material back and forth. Let it drink the water up because it is dry. So you want this material to drink all that moisture in. Just nice and easy. Work that material just like that. You don't want to get too crazy. Then you'll start splashing around. And there's no need for any of that. Okay. You want to work the material back and forth across the tucket. Like that. Make sure you're getting all the moisture, all the water mixed in. You're pushing the drier stuff into the wetter stuff, and that way it gets nice and consistently mixed. Comes across the bottom here. All that material there. Nice. Like that. So what you're going for is not wet. You're not looking for wet, soaking wet mud. That's the last thing you want. You want this stuff to be airy. You want the material to allow moisture to pass through it fairly easily. A lot of people make the mistake of mixing this material way too thin, way too wet, and that's not what you want. You don't want a lot of water. You're looking for, again, dry. See, my hands are still clean. Nice and dry material. But packable. You can still pack it. You can still make a hard pack if you needed to. So, let's take you with me on a magic ride from the workspace to workspace. Let's see where we get. So, I grabbed the tucket on each corner, but a little bit on the inside. Grab that puppy and navigate through your terrain. Nice and easy. Don't want to hit any walls. Okay. Yeah, that's done. Pour this material into the void space, ensuring we don't get anything underneath. Get weep protection. All right. Now, a few things you're going to need: your margin trowel, your 6-inch by 3-inch flat trowel, and your 12-inch by 4-inch flat trowel. So I'll use my margin trowel to spread a good amount of this material out, just to give me a little bit of room to work with, get an idea of what we got going on. Now, we might not need all this material. Probably will, but we might not. And in that case, that's why we leave the tucket in here with us. And then we have a bigger scooper to take out the unneeded material. So what I like to do is come across, find my level line, and work down from there. Right, there it is. Alright, so now we got more material and we'll throw it right in there. And we just keep doing that until we get to that line. So pay attention to what you're doing and make sure you stay right on that line. And then you can come through as you go and level it out. Aye, if you're good enough. After you've done this about 300,000 times, it's second nature. It doesn't really take a trained hand anymore than it takes your body to do it by memory. Once you've done it a bunch. So I don't expect anybody to be able to just come right off the rip and do this type of work. This is a learned skill over a long period of time. I must be doing bathrooms, I don't know. I'm 43. 2007. So however many years that is when I just primarily focused on bathrooms, kitchens, and flooring. But I've been in the construction industry my whole life. As you guys know, if you do follow me, which who the hell knows if you do or not, doesn't really matter to me. But as you know, this is what I love. This is what I'm passionate about. This is it. Putting it all in. Putting in the hard work. Watching it pay off. Getting it done. Now, what I'm doing here is I see a couple little lower spots out in this fielded area that are going like that. So what I'm doing is I'm coming across and I'm filling those in. Now how I can see that is the way my knife reacts over the surface of the material. I can see if it's pulling or drawing material back and forth as I'm moving the blade, and I can see the uneven spots. So then, as you see, I just crumple up some material and dump it down in there, flatten it out, and there you go. That's pretty much this side. You don't have to get too perfect, but you want to be as nice as you can get it. You know, you want it to be as flat as possible with a nice amount of pitch. And there you go. And that's this side. That's this side, right? Nice, tight to that level line all the way around. And looking good. So then we're over here. might have to mix more material, might not. Who knows? But again, you want to start by finding that level line. It's the most important thing. Numero uno. Number one. You tamp down till you find that level line. There she is. And once you have it, you work from there. Like I said before, you add, take away, whatever you need, till you get to that level line. Now this again is why we need the mortar tucket readily available, because we'll be able to come in and do one of these if needed. Bam! Get rid of a little bit of material. Got a little too much material in here maybe. I don't know. This stuff also compacts down. So you want to keep that in mind as well. Before you start removing too much material. Keep that blade nice and clean. Now for me, I like to watch this inside line here first. Make sure that this is done perfect first. Right, then I can come in here and I can take all this extras out of there, high spots, and I could use that to fill in this area here. Try to keep your knife as clean as possible the whole way through. And then we take our knife on our edge and we drag it like this, and we're really able to see the areas in which need more attention. Not too many in here. It's nice. It's good to see. Alright, now we start back on this side. Alright. That's pretty much what we're looking for there. Bubble. So that down. Look at that. That is gorgeous. Alright, so now the big trout isn't really going to fit in between here, so we're going to use the smaller trout. Get the rest of this material. Alright, I need to mix a little bit more of this material. Because now what you want to do is once it's done, it's all compacted around, you want to compact around the drain. Not too crazy, but remember, people are going to be walking on this thing. You want it to have some kind of stability. Alright, so I need about 1/8 of the bag. So what we do is we go back. We mix just a poquito más more, just a little bit more. Not a lot, and this is where a lot of people get in trouble now, is because they can't monitor or figure out how to do a little, they only do a lot. So I like to put it in dry first. That should do it. That should be more than enough. Right? And then I'll put in just a splash of water. Just a splash. Just get everything nice and wet. And then you start in with the hand motion. Wham! 1, 2, 3. Probably gonna need 4 or 5. But it's better to start slow. Look at that. It's coming up nice. Maybe one more. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll get the rest of it. Perfect. Dude, there we go. Come along with me on a journey. Back to the bathroom, guys. Okay. Set your back down. Ooh, shit. Get a nice look at what we're doing here. Yeah. All right. Fill all that in. Looks a lot better now. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yippers. All right, look at that. See that? Now that looks nice right there. Okay. Okay. What I'm doing is I'm just shaping around this drain to make the transition nice and smooth between what would be the walking surface and the draining surface of this floor. I like to work my way around. A little bit at a time, and we get there. No big hurry. You'll be working on this the rest of your life. And again, for some it comes easy, for some it doesn't. I know. Look, how can we become as good as you? Decades. Decades of dedication to your task. Shit doesn't come overnight. You know, the people want it to, but it doesn't. Mm-hmm. So as you see, I'm just slowly working that angle into the floor. Just slowly working that angle in there. Nice and easy. Not too fast. And you'll see these areas that are a little bit not as shiny or a little bit not as smooth. Those are the low spots. Let me just fill those right in as we go. Just fill those right in as we go. Just like that. Just like that. Huh? Gorgeous. I said, what are you talking about? Low spots. No low spots. Oh. There she is. Then we come back at it. Bigger trout. And get a little higher areas there. Need to be hit a little bit right there. Ooh. There we go. I think that's nice, guys. I think that's nice, guys. Alright, next step is we come across and just make sure there's no real crazy areas of low. Just a little bit right here. Hit that. So triple check our work. Make sure everything looks good. Right in there. Right in there. Really nice. Little spot right there. Oh. Alright, so then what I do, small trowel, and I just push, 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 push. Okay, now by doing that, that compacts all the material right at the drain. Nice and tight. Alright? Then I'll take just a little bit more material. And I'll fill that right back in. Just like that. Muy bien. Right? I'm trying to learn Spanish. Don't hate me. That's what it is. Alright, so if that's done, now we got our material. Right here. Let me lay that down. There, and we want to see what our depth is. So let's just steal one of these guys. Let me take a little look. We go around and take a little look. Ooh, that's nice. Ooh, that's nice. Ooh, that's a little high. Ooh, that's a little low. Ooh, a little high, a little low. These are the ways that anything goes. Okay. Perfect. Beautiful. And then we know our material is going to fit. Alright, so then we come off this back wall and we make sure the drain is the same. So 12 1/4. 12 1/4. Nice. I like to give it just a little wiggle. Wiggle wobble, wiggle wobble. And there it is, everybody. Took about 38 minutes. Pan poured. But there it is. Huh? Beautiful. Hope everybody has a great day. And this helped somebody out there in the world. Talk to y'all later. Give me a follow, Luke Fusco on YouTube, Flooring King on Instagram, and Luke Fusco on Facebook. Later, guys.